Hello again, everybody. This is Caray.
Along with Jack Buck, and we have a happy story to tell. A story that culminated on Monday, September 18th in Philadelphia.
High fly ball. Deep right field. Into the corner, Bobby Tolan. He's got it. The Cardinals win the pennant. The Cardinals win the pennant. And boy, they've all rushed out onto the field.
How the Cardinals reached that happy state of affairs will be our subject for the next few minutes here. And we'll bring you the highlights and some of the low ones of Cardinals baseball 1967.
And Harry, as the fans listen, let's remind them of the tremendous team effort our Cardinals applied throughout the year. The folks will hear of a lot of different guys who consistently came up with key plays. It started April 16th, opening night, as the Cardinals and Bob Gibson faced the Giants and Juan Marshall. Gibson struck out the first 5 he faced, pitching brilliantly. And the Cardinals drew first blood in the second, as Lou Brock batted with 2 men on.
He got the first hit. Will he drive in the first run? Here's the stretch. And the pitch on the way. There she goes! Way back! It might be! It could be! It is! A home run!
Gibson breezed to a 6-0 victory, and that score was symbolic. The Redbirds won their first 6 in a row.
And the Cardinals started the year playing well on the road, Jack. It was to become a Cardinal trademark in '67.
Pitching was supposed to be a Cardinal problem, but it was quite good in the early going. Games like April 25th in Houston, when Al Jackson came close to baseball immortality.
The little left-hander had a no-hitter working for 7 innings.
But as Bob Aspromonte led off the 8th for the Astros, the dream game came to an abrupt halt.
Nobody on or out. We're in the 8th. 4-0 St. Louis. Here's the pitch. There's a base hit. Aspromonte ends all doubt about any no-hitter with a line single into left.
That was the only Houston hit, and perhaps one of the best-pitched Cardinal games of the year.
And with Brock swinging a torrid bat, and with Maris, McCarver, Javier, Flood, and Cepeda all off to flying starts, the Cardinals reached the first milestone of the season. Memorial Day, only a game and a half behind first place Cincinnati.
Not bad for a team picked by the sports writers to finish 6th. But the way the Cardinals celebrated Memorial Day in Cincinnati was enough to make you almost give up hope. Dick Hughes had a 1-run lead and a no-hitter for 7 innings. But 3 fluke hits in the 8th gave the Reds the advantage as the Cardinals came up for their last swings. Cepeda started it with a single. McCarver singled. Runners on first and third and nobody out. Phil Gagliano stepped in to pinch hit. It took the Cardinals until September 18th to forget what happened next.
There's the stretch. There's the pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop. He's going to go for the double play. There's a man trying to score, and he is out. Triple play. The game is over. Cepeda didn't break right away. A ground ball to the shortstop. He threw to second for 1, threw to first for 2, and then the first baseman threw to the catcher for a triple play.
It was a bitter pill to swallow, Jack, but the Cardinals bounced back quickly. Another trademark of the '67 team.
Their next game was at home against Atlanta, and again they trailed as they batted in the 9th. This time the score was 4-2. An error gave the Cardinals a runner at second with nobody out, and knuckleballer Phil Niekro came in for the Braves. He wild-pitched Hughes to third, from where he scored on a sacrifice fly. Javier then walked, and Flood was the batter. It was really something to see.
A wild pitch. Make that a pass ball. So the tying runs in second with only 1 out. And if Flood will stay alive long enough, I could almost bet that he'll wild pitch him to third. His knuckleball is jumping all over, and Torrey just can't catch it. 1 ball, 1 strike. The tying run at second base. The pitch. It gets away. There goes Javier. There's a throw. He's safe. I told you. The tying run is at third. They call it another pass ball. Now the tying run at third. The infield has to come in. Would you believe another one? Now the stretch. The 3-2 pitch. Bouncing ball through, base hit. The game is tied. Holy cow.
The Redbirds finished them off in the 10th. With a runner on, Bob Tolan pulled the trigger.
Now the stretch. There's the pitch. Line drive left center field. Way back near the wall. Here's the winning run. He's around third. The Cardinals are going to win it. Bobby Tolan did it. Cardinals win by 4.
And perhaps averted a lengthy slump in the process.
But by June 10th, Cincinnati was in the National League driver's seat by 3.5 games over the second-place Cardinals. The Cardinals were home playing the Dodgers. As usual, they came from behind in the 7th to tie it 2-2.
On they battled to the 11th inning. The Cardinals had 2 men on. Again, Roger Maris got the big hit. It was the kind of hit he used to specialize in.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Roger Maris. Here's the pitch. There she goes, way back. It might be. It could be. Cardinals win it. Home run. Holy cow.
Roger was a happy man as he trotted around the bases, and it was a happy and hustling Cardinal ball club throughout the year. And all their good work wasn't done by hitters.
Along those lines, Harry, one of the big plays I'll remember for a while occurred in Houston, where the Cardinals led by a run as the Astros hit in the bottom of the 11th. They had a man at second, 1 out, and little Bob Lillis stepped in.
Line drive into center field, Flood on the run. Makes the catch, and he's going to get a double play. Holy cow! He saved the ball game. He stepped on the bag for the double play. Kurt Flood came tearing in, a sure single to center, and turned it into an unassisted double play. Holy cow, what a play to end the game on.
The little guy, as usual, played that way all year in center field, despite a very bad arm.
The Cardinals got their severest jolt of the year, to that time, as they played in Los Angeles in mid-June. Ray Washburn was pitching and was looking good. Then, suddenly, disaster struck.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Roseboro, who swings, hits it up the middle, off Washburn's bare hand, out into the outfield. Lefevre goes to third, 1 out, and Washburn is hurt. Washburn stuck the bare hand out to stop that line drive, and he hurt his hand. No doubt that he has either broken a finger or split one, Jack, because as soon as that ball hit his bare hand and was deflected into left center, he started walking off the mound and waved for Bob Bowman to greet him.
The dislocated finger shelved Washburn for several weeks, and the Cardinals dipped into their farm system for young Jim Cosman as a replacement. He started against the Giants in St. Louis a couple of nights later, and, prompted by a dream of pitching coach Billy Muffet's, he adopted a no-wind-up delivery. He was in and out of trouble all night, but he led 3-1 in the 8th when his patient manager had to go get him. The tribute 35,000 St. Louis fans gave him was one of the pleasant memories of the year.
The applause is already starting up for him. He's going to get a standing ovation, I think. He waits for Nellie Browns, gives him the ball, pats him on the back. Red pats. Listen to the hand for Jim Cosman. They're standing up. First time I've seen a standing ovation in a long time.
It was one of the 2 games Cosman would win all year, but it came when it was desperately needed with Washburn in sick bay.
As the Cardinals closed in on the halfway mark in the pennant race, they were tied for first place with Chicago, with Cincinnati already 5 games behind. The Reds opened a big series in St. Louis on July the 3rd, and the Cardinals won 7-3 in a game enlivened by a wild brawl. Cincinnati came back, however, to take the holiday game, and they were ahead by 2 runs in the rubber game of the series, July 5th.
A tough right-hander, Mel Queen, was hurling for the Reds as Javier batted with 1 on and 2 out in the Cardinal 8th. In other years, Javier was duck soup for a pitcher such as Queen, but not in '67.
Here's a pitch. There's a drive way back. Might be out of here. It could be. It is. A home run. And this ball game is all tied up. Holy cow. Javier it barely got over the left field wall.
Cepeda was resting, not in the Cardinal lineup, but he appeared in the ninth, pinch hitting at the right time.
Here's a stretch. The pitch. By a line drive up the middle. Here comes the winning run. Cepeda delivers. The Cardinals win it 6-5. Cepeda's third hit of the game, and they're mobbing him. Orlando came through. They're all jumping all over him. Don't spike him, boys. He's the franchise.
Which is a good way of summing up his contributions in the '67 season.
By July 15th, after the All-Star game, the Cardinals were in high gear. They led by 4 games, were playing at home on a Saturday evening, and had Gibson on the mound against Pittsburgh. The Cardinals led 1-0 as the Pirates batted in the 4th. As Roberto Clemente stepped in, things couldn't have looked better. Seconds later, they couldn't have looked worse.
There's the pitch. Oh, he's hurt. Gibson's hurt. That ball hit him off the leg. A base hit. He's knocked down. Oh, he's hurt. Right on the right ankle. He's lying on his left side, and he's in much pain. And here comes trainer Bob Bowman. Oh, he was really socked.
He had a broken leg, but he didn't know it, and he kept pitching, at least for a little while.
There's a 3-2 pitch on the way. He fell down as he threw that ball. He's hurting. Oh, he's really hurting. He fell down that time. And he's not going to get up.
I guess he reached back for a little extra on that 3-2 pitch, Harry, and he really went down. And he fell down, his mouth open, and he was looking for help, and then lay back as though he was going to pass out.
He was lost until September, and the Cardinals lost the game. Desperate for pitching help, they acquired Jack LeMahieu from the Mets prior to a doubleheader with the New York Ball Club the very next day.
The Cardinals lost that doubleheader, and LeMahieu was ineffective. From there they went to Cincinnati, lost the first game there, and saw their lead dwindle to a single game. Without a doubt, this was the low water mark of the 1967 season.